Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going back to my gingerbread journal. Obviously, we started this and that was it. We only did 1 week. Paulette's gingerbread kit is really, really lovely. I got really inspired when I saw it. I'll give you a quick flip through now and then show you what we're going to do today. So in Paulette's kit, you get several papers. Now these are papers, obviously I've done them smaller so it's easier for you to see. These are papers again, and here, and they are just so lovely. They really remind you of gingerbread cookies, don't they? You know, the sort you stick on the tree. I make them every year and I just love gingerbread cookies, I really do. So that's all the papers. Then there's a lot of ephemera in this kit. Obviously you can print these at whichever size you like and whatever medium you like. This is really down to you, but I print them all on the same size just so you can see them. It's lovely, isn't it? So this is the gingerbread kit that I know some of you have seen before. There's your margarine and the journaling card. I love these journaling cards, I think they're really lovely. Again, Borden's milk. It's funny because obviously if these were done in English you know, brands, I'd know who they all are, but you know, most of them I haven't a clue. I know Campbell's Campbell's are, because they, and a lot of Paulettes have Campbell's in, you know, Campbell's soup. Is this bit that always makes me laugh. Your sugar ration is £2 per month. You know, they did go through a lot, didn't they, when they had rationing. And then these are obviously your stamps. And to cut your stamps out, the best way to do that is get a pair of pinking shears. Or I've got a huge set of like different scissors that I use in the craft clubs. And this one particularly gives a really lovely, look at that, really good stamp edge on it. Saves you hours cutting them all out. So that's the kit. Now where we got to last time was I'd show you the pages and we did some envelopes, didn't we? So these are the little envelopes that I did. I'll show you this kit in a bit later on. And these are just lovely. I mean, now when you get to this stage you can decide whether you want to glue them down or leave them as they are, because if you don't want to glue them down you can obviously cut these bits off and use them just as just for writing in, you know, secret writing. So we did some envelopes, that's the envelopes, and then these are a bit bigger ones. Let me just take that off of there. And this is that lovely trim that I used that I'd got. And it just makes these envelopes look so lovely, it really does. And I'd put a little bit on each of those. And then there's a couple more for me to decorate. Then here, these are the bookmarks. Now you get 5 on a sheet, an A4 sheet, and I printed them off twice and then, you know, back them with a different one on each one. That's the width on that one. So this morning I've just popped on these, the little charms that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. They are actually sort of a plasticky rubber, but they're not very thick and they're really lovely, and they have worked so nice on these this morning. I was really, really pleased with them. These ones I used the trim again on them. I did that in the last video. Now when I was playing with this morning, I thought these would look lovely as a belly band decorated. You don't often, we'll be doing those later, you don't often see a belly band that's sort of got something else on it, and I thought how lovely would it be to put these in as your belly band with a wee charm on like this. I thought that would just look so nice, and then you can pop your ephemera underneath, and that's one of the postcards, so he'd go under there, you know, and I thought this would just look so lovely. So I'm going to pop them in my journal and glue them in a wee bit, because I thought I'm going to save some for ephemera, you know, actually put them at the beginning of the journal in a pocket so they can be used if somebody wants to use them as a bookmark. They would be lovely. And also use them a belly band. So these have got, you know, several uses that you can use for them. All I did with these is literally just glue two pieces of card together at the right shape, and then I punched a little grommet in, you know, and put a grommet in the top, and just used 2 jump rings. So that was what I was looking at this morning, and obviously we did those before, and this is just some of the ephemera that I've already cut out, ready for filling up my journal. And then the other thing we did was I was showing you different ways of having stitching on, you know, a tag, and we made a tag, and I was showing you the, you know, how to do the faux stitching. That's what we did last time. And I have ordered the 2 stamp stitches that Linda Israel does, Shabby Stitches, and there's another one, and when they come I will show you them. Now what I've done also in here, because I'd obviously just folded the pages last time, I've done some stamping. Now these stamps are Sweet Dixie. Now mine are getting really old now. If I actually take them out of here, you might be able to see them better without the glare on the front. Now Sue Dix loves Sue. She's a lovely friend of mine now, and she actually designed these, and I'm hoping you can see them enough if I take off this like this. I'm hoping you'll be able to see them without the glare, because obviously I've got the light on because it's quite dark. I'm hoping you can see those. Well, there's 2 little gingerbread men, and then you've got your lollipop and your candy cane. You've got a lovely gingerbread house, and that's another lollipop there, and that's Sweet Dixie. And they are just lovely. I've had them for quite a few years, so I've just coloured them in, and I've just gradually just folded all the pages up and got them into my journal. Some of these might be upside down because I was cutting them to size this morning. I just wanted to get them all to size, and here we have them again. And I think I'm just going to bring them up a bit. Oh, they're so cute and adorable, aren't they? Absolutely lovely. So, as I say, I've done, and I even did a gingerbread house. I think it's a gingerbread house. There's another one here. I think I did 2 of each. You know, I did 2 gingerbread houses and a couple of different gingerbread men through it. There's another one there. So, my pages are ready. I might put a couple of more tea dye papers in. I've actually done some more tea dye papers this morning, and then this morning I did my cover. So what I did was I used Amazon packaging. You know, the thick envelopes that you get in this card. So what I did was I cut it to size, and then I've put underneath here. Now I'm hoping you can see this. If I just peel these apart, this is the actual netting bit from the vintage lace, and I popped that under there, and it gave a lovely colour underneath. And then the other side, because this had the lovely big smiley face on it, the big black smiley face, I then gessoed this first so that, you know, you couldn't see his big smiley face looking at you, and everybody say, oh look, that's a bit of Amazon packaging. And then I've just playing around just to decide what I was going to put on the front. Gingerbread man. Now I've managed to get, these are on scan and cut. So if anybody's got a scan and cut, you can easily get these off your scan and cut. Now you've got this one, and then you've got the one that goes underneath that you can cut out plain with a different colour. So I've popped them on, and this here is tea dyed tumble dryer sheet. That's what that is underneath there. And then I've put that bit down, but I've not glued this bit down because obviously I want to sew my signature in, and once I sew my signature in, I will glue that back down. This bit I'm still playing around with. I'm not sure whether I want to put a title on it, you know, gingerbreads or recipes or something. I'm deciding like that. So I've left these. Now these again are all part of that 50-year-old vintage lace. So that's what I got up to this morning, playing. And I'm now going to show you my idea on mixed media cards. So I'm just going to move this lot and then start the video again. Okay? So, mixed media cards. I've been using the little printout of all the little gingerbread men that when I started the journal, the gingerbread journal, I showed you before, this one, where you've got 12 lovely images, and I will link this below. I know several of you liked it before, so I'll link it below, so if you want it you can go and get it. Now what I've done is I've literally cut them out and then stuck them onto a playing card. You can hear and see that playing card, and what's lovely about it is it just gives you a little bit of an edge, a little bit of a border, which frames the card, which is lovely. And I've backed all mine with some tea dyed paper. You can use what you like on the back, can't you? Book paper would be lovely, music paper, whatever you decide to stick on the back, it's up to you. But these are going to be stuck in a pocket or you know, in a tuck space, something like that. If you're planning on sticking them down on your page, then obviously you don't have to back them. So what I've done here so far is I've used the BB Craft stencils. Now this one, I believe that's number 9. Don't know right way around. Number 9. I'm going to just get a piece of card. You know, the piece of card from before. And pop it on there. And you'll be able to see that's number 9 there. You see it? That's number 9 in the packet. And I've started by using a bit of this lovely border, and that's the silver. So here's the silver, and you can see it really does look lovely on the just on the top of the card. You don't need too much, just something a little bit different. Then this one, I've put tape all the way around so that you're not picking up underneath here. I've got a couple of little holes, another one here and one here, and it means you're literally just going to get the image that you want. This is stencil tape, that's why it comes up quite easily, but you can use masking tape. Stencil tape is thinner than masking tape, but it basically does the same job. So I've started using the wreath, and I did the wreath, and I only used little bits just in the corner. And then there's another one here, just in the corner, and it just makes a little bit of difference. Bring your mixed media into your journals now. It's lovely, particularly this time of year, because you want a bit of bling, don't you? You want to, you know, make things look a little bit pretty. So I've just done a few. I need to just cut this little one out over here. So this time I'm going to use this stencil. This one's number 6. Oh, and the other one with the wreath on was number 19. If I remember correctly, there's 20 in a packet from BB Craft. So I will pop the details down below. But I thought I would use a bit of this or here, because I think this is just lovely. It's going to give a nice little image on the cards. So I'm just going to pop that bit of card over. Amazon do come in useful. You know, their paper packaging, you can't beat it. I wonder how many actually recycle their Amazon packaging, you know, because you think about it, we all, the crafters and journalists, you know, take that packaging and iron it and use it in your journals. And I mean, it's even great for making homemade paper with. If you want to make some homemade paper, if you put a bit of that in as well, it comes up really lovely. Now this is actually a paint, but I like using paint sometimes because it gives a different feel. And this one is a chameleon. chameleon paint, and it's really lovely because when it catches the light, you've got blue in it here and pink, and these cards, you know, the digi has quite a bit of blue in it, and that's why I thought I would actually stick this on here. And of course, when you're doing your stenciling, just remember it's like buttering a piece of toast. So let's just lift that up. There we go. So just a little bit of pattern on the top. I'm hoping you can see that because the light is not very good. I've got my main light on, but obviously we're back in the storm bit again. This morning it was so lovely because the eye of the storm came and the sky was blue and the birds were going nuts and the sun was so bright. It was incredible. I actually had to close the kitchen curtains because you couldn't see properly because it was so bright. And the birds, of course, they were going absolutely crazy because, you know, we've had this awful storm for a few days. I mean, the really bad bit was like yesterday morning going right through the night. And as I said on my other video, it was like, you know, I was in a haunted house here. It was really rattling the rafters. So it was lovely to see the birds running around, getting their bits. Sorry, I stuck the stencil in my mouth to hold it, and not the bit where the paint was either. Just so I can wipe off the worst. Then I can just pop them straight into a bit of cold water and wash them off. There, that's it. It's a bit cleaner. Making a mess. So yeah, the birds were so happy this morning. It was about lunchtime, you know, about 11:30, 12ish. And I looked out the kitchen window from where I'm sitting now, and all I could see were these birds going everywhere, because I'm actually on the first floor, because this used to be the old police house. Let's just take that mucky bit off of there. There. So there's some really lovely little journaling cards. I've got a couple that I'll need to still cut out. Now, if you've got wee ones, think about sticking these onto playing cards, because the playing cards give them that little bit of stability, because if you just print them onto card, they're going to get a bit dog-eared, aren't they? So if you print these out, then stick them onto playing cards, you can stick maybe wrapping paper on the back, or if you want to be creative, you could gesso the back and then put their initial on. You know, you can think of all sorts of different ways of making them look lovely, but you think there's 12 in a pack, well, 12 in this. So if they wanted to play Snap, if it was a really little one, then obviously you probably just want to print off twice. So they've just got 24. But if you've got older kids, you might want to print it off like 4 times so that, you know, the game can go on a bit longer. But it'd be lovely to do, to just give them a homemade pack of playing cards, because I think playing kids games is lovely, particularly in the holidays. And of course with Thanksgiving coming up, you know, you want to spend, I know we're spending a lot of time with family this year, but it's still a celebration time, and games are very much associated with holidays, aren't they? So I'm going to clear this lot up and I'll be back.